Hey everybody, Meghan Kallman here talking about my new book, The Death of Idealism, Development and Anti-Politics in the Peace Corps, which was published in April. So why this book? Two answers to that question. The first answer is that I wanted to write sociology about the interaction between people's ideas, values, and to some extent their identity and organizational experience, right? Organizations are very profound socializers of people, right? They teach us all sorts of lessons about who we are and what we believe and what we should believe and what we value and what's appropriate behavior and what's good and what's bad. And they do that quite passively for the most part. They're not explicit about socializing us. So what happens when you have a group of mostly young Americans who want to help out, right? They want to, quote, save the world, and they go into a public organization like the Peace Corps. The Peace Corps actually recruits people based on those feelings of idealism, of like wanting to help, wanting to participate, although obviously it's a complex organization that certainly has had many origins and has many consequences beyond sort of just the altruism. So the first question is, what happens to people's values in politics once they are sort of processed through an organizational experience? And there's a lot of answers to that question, but some of the most enduring in this book is that by being professionalized through the Peace Corps, which is sort of an ironic finding that the Peace Corps heavily professionalizes its volunteers. I mean, they're volunteers, but they get professionalized, that they become very apolitical. Which is why the subtitle of the book is about anti-politics, because they do not develop a sort of structural analysis, but rather a very individualistic, sort of rationalistic understanding of these political processes of social change and development. The second answer to this question of why this book is because I explore what that means for the project of development generally, right? So what does it mean to have a generation, at this point, almost 60 years worth of Peace Corps volunteers learning these lessons in an organization about what power is, about what help is, about what foreign aid, about what development is, and diffusing those throughout the development apparatus. So ultimately, it is a story about the conflict between idealism and professionalism and professionalization. One is a sort of values-based motivation, which I'm certainly not arguing is a good outcome, right? I'm not convinced that idealism, leads to good social change. But professionalization is also a sort of rational type of process that can squelch acknowledgement of the things that actually makes community development successful. Community development is all about power and politics, right? And a rational take can lead to failures of development. That's why the book is important. That's why I was excited to write it. It draws on a bunch of different data sources. I had a great time writing it. Thanks for stopping by.